Hey JJ, just asking James. At this point in the year, are you guys even thinking football, or is it a different mindset? Even though you're at a facility of a football team and you're with football teammates.
No, we are thinking football. Is I think there's a bigger outlook at this current moment for building as good of an athlete as you can be. I think that you're trying to get bigger, you're trying to get faster, you're trying to get stronger, more flexible, doing all the things that you can really control in the off season. But we're always thinking about football, and especially starting here in a couple weeks once we get on the field, and can actually have a ball and throw it around and do what we do as football players. That's when you really start to lock in there.
Next up, Mark, Tyler, and Bob.
Hey JJ, good to see you. Hey, with the way it started last year, the undefeated start, and then you having to sit out for a while with the injury, does that change at all your approach this year to staying healthy and being able to not have an instance where you have to go out?
Yes, I would prefer not to do that.
All right. Well, JJ, just wanted to talk about your trip recently. Saw the socks running into people with wearing your face on socks, and just wanted to get your take on that and just your perspective of all that.
Yeah, it was awesome. We had a great trip, just a week in London, and really enjoyed it. I enjoyed over there. Fans were awesome. Every day it was really cool to run into people who were fans. Even when we were out in the Cotswolds, I mean, out in the middle of the country, in Old Town, and somebody came up to me with a Texans hat, and they wanted me to sign that, and they said they were big fans from when I played in Houston. So just all over. It's very cool to see the game grow. It's very cool to see fans from everywhere, and it just makes you so appreciative and so thankful for these people supporting you from places that you would never even think of or dream of. And that it always, those types of situations always bring me back to being a kid in Pewaukee, Wisconsin. And if you showed me where we are today, and the types of things that I'm fortunate enough to be able to do and the people I'm able to meet, I'm unbelievably thankful for everything that this job has given me.
JJ, does it matter to you that your starting quarterback's not there working out with you guys?
No,
Why not?
because all I need him to be there for is the first game of the season and play good.
Next up, Greg, Tyler, and Darren.
JJ, good to see you, man.
You too.
What advice would you give to an up and coming ball player? Maybe a kid who's getting ready to start high school ball, maybe an approach to the weight room. Are we looking at compound lifts, body weight stuff? Does he need to eat a bunch of ice cream? If you could go back and advise maybe like a young JJ Watt, what would you tell him about how to prepare for a season?
Well, it really depends on what age level you're talking about. If you're talking about a high school kid, I would tell him to work extremely hard at the sport that you want to be great at, but also enjoy everything else about the point you are at in life. I think it's extremely important to put a lot of time, energy, and commitment to the sport you want to be great at in high school, but I think that all the other aspects are just as important. It's a time where you're fortunate enough to be in a position where you get to see your best friends every single day. You can play multiple sports if you'd like to. You get to experience things that the rest of your life you're not going to get to experience again. And I think that we're so quick nowadays to try and accelerate these kids and try to make sure that they are doing absolutely everything possible, and we try and force them into one sport, and we try and force them into specialized training for this sport, and we try and have them do that sport year round. I think sometimes we have to take a step back and understand that playing multiple sports is the best thing for the kids. They need to be able to diversify their training program and use different muscles and use different skills and balance points. And then I think they also need to be kids. They need to enjoy themselves. They need to be having fun. You just look at the statistics alone. The true, pure fact of it is that not every kid is going to make it to the pros. So when we act like every kid is going to make it to the pros when they're in high school, we're really robbing these kids of the opportunity to enjoy themselves and to enjoy what they're doing at that moment. Now, that's not saying that you shouldn't try and be the best you can be, and you shouldn't try and work hard. All I'm saying is let's take a second and enjoy it along the way. Now, if you ask me that question for a college kid, it's a little different. You ask me that question for a rookie in the NFL, it's a little different, because I do think that every stage you go, there is a different emphasis and there's a different focus. But in terms of high school kids, work hard, but enjoy it. Spend some time with your friends and just have a good time.
Hi, JJ. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Have you talked to Kyler Murray this offseason, and what advice would you give a player of his caliber when they're going through like an ongoing contract dispute?
I mean, we talk frequently. As far as advice on contracts and things like that, I mean, if he wants my advice, I'm here for it, but I'm not. Everybody goes through their own situation, and a quarterback in this league is vastly different than any other position. Everybody knows that. It's a quarterback-driven league. You have to have a great one to have a chance at success. We're fortunate to have a great one, and I look forward to getting out there and playing with him again this season.
JJ, I know you've been around the facility, so maybe it doesn't feel any different to you because of the protocols being pulled off, but does it feel any different now around your teammates now that the COVID stuff has kind of been pulled back? Does it feel like, okay, we've gotten back to pre-COVID a little bit as far as vibe? Are you enjoying the fact that you guys can have a quote-unquote normal off season?
I'm looking forward to that, yes. But like you said, I've been here all off season and been in here every single day with some of the guys and with Buddy and with the trainers, so it's been great. I've really enjoyed being down here. I've really enjoyed my time here in Arizona, and really looking forward to the rest of the offseason, to having more of the guys back and to just working.
Next up, Mike, Howard, and Paul.
JJ, was there a day in the off season, as you pointed out, we've seen you here a lot, where you feel like you're 100% from the injury from a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, I feel great now. I mean, I would say that time came, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago, or I don't know. I feel great, no issues.
Yeah, I was going to ask partially about that, but you just answered that part of it. But how tough was it getting out there with what you had done up to that point for that playoff game?
It was. I mean, it was obviously a whole lot of work and a lot of great people helping me out to get to that point. It was obviously then disappointing for it all to go the way that it did at that point. But I was pleased with how it held up, and I was happy with everything.
And now that you're removed from the end of last season, was there a lesson learned, you think, for the team, JJ? And if so, what?
I sure hope so. You gotta play your best football at the most important times of the year, and I obviously don't think that we did that last season. I think that's the key to this league, is finding your stride at the right time, and also I hope it's motivation for every single guy on the team to do everything in their power this offseason, this training camp, this season, to make sure that we're not in a situation like that again, both the back half of the season and then specifically what happened in the playoffs. So if you can't look at that game and you can't walk out of that stadium feeling motivation and wanting to work harder and wanting to be better and wanting to do everything that you can, you're probably in the wrong business.
All right, we'll take our last two, Jeff and Jim.
Hey, JJ, how are you?
Great.
We've seen you out and about in Arizona during the off season, golf courses, out at bars and things like that. What have you really enjoyed about getting to know Arizona, and how much has your handicap gone down with all the golf you're playing?
Oh, I wish it went down further. I suck at golf. I do. I'm trying to get better. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. I got new clubs. I'm starting to dial them in. But I don't get out there as much as I need to be better, which is probably a good thing. So, but I'm working on that. I mean, I love it here. I talk to my brothers about it all the time. I really enjoy being down here. I think that the weather is obviously a huge factor of being down here. The winters are unbelievable, and to be able to be outside on natural grass, training in 75-degree weather all winter long, is a very nice feature that we have here, and I love just the amount of activities that you can do outside here, from obviously playing golf to just being outside, going for hikes, to driving up to Sedona and spending some time in Sedona. All the different aspects that Arizona has to offer, and the people, and I've really enjoyed getting to know it. And I've only been here for a year, so I'm in its young stages of it, but I've enjoyed it very much. And I think the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is building that relationship between the team and the fan base, because I know that since I got here, obviously we were in COVID times, and it was a little more difficult to build that relationship. So I want us to be able to feel like we're all pulling in the same direction, and we're all on game day. I want that place to feel like it's one family all working towards the same goal of getting that win. And I really want our guys and our fans to all be on the same page. And I think the best way to do that is to be out there in the community, to be meeting the fans, to feel like we are all connected. And I know it's easier said than done, but that's what makes places special, and that's what makes seasons special. So we're looking forward to building that.
Hey JJ, what you've worked with Buddy Morris for over a calendar year now. What should I say, strength coach of the year, Buddy Morris? What separates him from others, and what makes him so unique as a strength coach?
Yeah, he very, very well deserving and very long overdue for that man to get strength coach of the year. He is extremely knowledgeable. He has so many years of experience and learning, and just building his knowledge base. And the beauty of it is that he is consistently trying to grow that knowledge base. He is never done learning. He is always trying to research new things and find out new theories from people. And then he is so attention to detail oriented, and he is so committed and passionate about what he does, and he puts everything that he has into his players. And I think that you can feel that as a player. You can have strength coaches who are kind of trying to act like they know what they're talking about, but he knows what he's talking about. Every single thing that he says, every theory that he has, he knows exactly what he's talking about. There's a reason you're doing the activity you're doing, and he can tell you exactly what that reason is. And then he's going to pour his passion and energy into it, and he's going to make sure you do it with the right form, and he's going to make sure you do it the right way. And everything that he gives to you, you want to give back to him in terms of effort and energy, because you can see how much it means to him. And as a player and as an athlete, that's all you can ask. It's so nice when you are giving everything that you have, and you'll wake up early and you'll put in the hours, and you'll spend 3-4 hours in the weight room and on the field with him, because you know you're going to get everything he's got in return, and he's going to do the most to maximize you. So I'm very lucky to have him, and I'm really enjoying it.